Alright class, today we're going to learn how to draw a self-portrait. Now to draw a self-portrait you first need to start with the shape of our head, which most people say an oval, but an even better shape than an oval would be an upside down egg. If you put your hands on top of your head, you'll feel that it's wider on the top and narrower on the bottom, and that's just like an egg, or an upside down egg. Then we're going to put a line down the middle. We want to draw very light. I like to say you draw light till you get it right. And then you're going to draw a line across the middle the other way. So we're basically making like a plus sign in the middle of our face. Now this line will be the line that we put our eyes on. Okay, so now you're probably thinking our eyes are not in the middle of our head, Mr. Stolt. Well, that's because they are actually because of our hair. Our hair does not grow on top of our head. It actually grows towards lower on our head and where our bangs are. So, and then we're going to draw another line in the middle between the line we just drew and the bottom. This will be where the bottom of our nose goes. Now remember, draw light till you get it right, and then one more line between the middle of that last line and our bottom again, and that's where our mouth will go. So we have 4 lines that we drew. Okay, one down the middle, one that divided the middle sideways like a plus, then 2 more lines that were half the distance. Okay, so those lines will set us up to know where things go. It's kind of like a map. We're telling us where we are, where things go. Now it will also, we'll have to make changes as we go, like I'm doing right now, but I think we're ready to get started. Okay, here we go. First thing we're going to do is our eyes. Now our head are 5 eyes wide. Now I know that seems weird, but everybody's head is 5 eyes wide, no matter how big or small your head is, because your eyes grow with your head. So we're going to draw our first eye like right in the middle. Okay, so we're trying to figure out an eye shape, drawing light to get it right, and then I'm going to draw 2 on the other side of that, and then I'm going to draw one last one on the other side. Okay, now you'll see that I still had some room left over on the one side, so that means my line was not exactly in the middle. So I'm going to draw a new line for the side of the head there and erase that other part in a second. Now that I can see that there's 5 little hills, that means those are the 5 eyes. I can erase the other 3 and make the other ones darker because we got it right. So that's where those eyes are going to go. So now I'm going to draw it darker and start adding more details. Now the next line is for our nose. Now our nose is made up of 3 circles. So I drew 1 circle here in the middle, and then I'm going to draw 2 smaller ones next to that circle. Now those represent our nostrils. So then I'm going to darken it, kind of like with an up-down line, a curvy line, to make it a little darker. And that represents the curves of our bottom of our nose, and then I can erase the tops of those circles. And that makes a pretty good nose. The only thing we have left to draw is the line on the side of our nose. Might make it round a little bit. So here's that line. See? And that's a pretty good nose. It's a good nose. And the last line is for our mouth. Okay? Now that line is the middle of our mouth. So we're going to draw a lip above it and a lip below it. I'm drawing the middle line right now, and it's a curvy shape. Kind of like one of the birds you would draw in the distance. An M shape, but much more curvy. And then there's another curvy line on top, and then just like a regular smiley face underneath. Now the more those lines touch, the more feminine it looks, or it looks like girl lips. The more the lines don't touch, the more it looks like masculine lips or boy lips. Alright, I'm going to go back and finish the eyes now. I'm going to draw a line that connects the bottom, so that's kind of like a curved shape. Eyes look like almonds or football shapes. Those are some of the words that are used to describe the shape of an eye. And then now we're going to go ahead and draw the ears. Now the ears go from your eye line to your nose line. Go ahead and trace that with your fingers. Go from the corner of your eyes to your top of your ears, and the bottom of your nose to the bottom of your ears. That's another reason we draw those lines, so we know how big the ears need to be. I'm just writing a little note here to remind us that the ears go from the eye line to the nose line. Okay, so now that we have that, let's talk about where our hair goes. Now remember I said our hair starts where our bangs are. So our bangs are just on our forehead, right? So here's my hair shape. I got my hair parted to the side. You can see that I'm drawing this shape. It's right above my eyes. Now the hair also grows on the side of our head, so not just on the top. So I'm going to make the hair go down to my ears on both sides. And then I'm going to draw the hairline on the side where it goes about right next to my ears up to the top. Yeah, like that. And then I'll do it on the other side as well. And now I pretty much have where the hair goes. So now I can start adding some of the details, like my eyes and the shape of my eyes. So I look in the mirror now that I have the basic shapes. And now I'm trying to make it look like me. We started with just a basic shape that anyone's face can look like. The simple upside down egg and the basic almond eye or football eye shape and basic nose, basic mouth. And now it's time to look in the mirror or something you can see yourself, even a computer screen, and start to make it look like you. So I'm drawing my eyebrows and my eyes, drawing the details that makes it look like me. Drew my hair first, and now I'm drawing all the shadows, and this is where it takes a lot of looking. Now I'm drawing my glasses. Those are details you're gonna. Now remember, draw light until you get it right, so that way if you mess up, it's easier to erase. I'm also going in and erasing some of those lines that we drew earlier, like the nose line and the eye line, because we only needed those to know where the eyes, nose, and mouth and ears go, so that we can erase those later. But I'm still working on my glasses here, trying to make it look like me. It's not an easy thing, so just do your best. But look at the details that make it look like you. You are a masterpiece. You are very special and very unique. So what is it that makes you unique? My hair right now is something different for me. For the longest time I had a faux hawk. So this is something different about me now. Yeah, and I'm getting older, so I got a little more wrinkles and a little more things that make me more distinctive, and you know, I just have to accept that. My jawline's a little rounded here. I do have a rounded jaw, but I might need to make it a little wider here. So just adding a little to that. Now I would say my head is a little wider than this, but I was going with the egg shape that I drew, and that was a good start. Now if I was being really picky, I think I'd go back and make it a little wider, but it still looks kind of like me. Okay, so now if you notice, I drew a light line from the edge of my eye down. That's where our neck starts. So the edge of our eyes, that's where our neck starts. So now I have a neck. So now I'm starting to draw my Adam's apple. And oh, girls, you don't have an Adam's apple. And then there's some more details, and I'll probably start adding a shirt here in a minute. So then that would give us our shoulders, and that basically finishes up our self-portrait. You don't want just a floating head. That's too freaky. So I'm going to add a shirt here. I think I'll add a collared shirt because that's what I'm wearing right now. And so here's the collar. Yep, get ready for the buttons there. So yep, it's looking good. Yep, there's one side. Draw the other side. And then I just got to draw my shoulders. And then I'll add some more shading, and then we'll be done. All right, so there we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and start finishing up, putting some of the details in the hair and some shadows, erase some of the lines that are there, and we're done. All right, guys, good luck and have fun making your portrait. Please bring it into class next time that you have art next week, or so that way we can use this for our project that we're working on. Okay? All right, guys, you're doing a great job. Have fun.